Now we have a dream from D. So I said at the start, what can you get from dreams that are really short? Can you get anything from them? And D sent us in three. So let's have a look. And here's the first one. All I remember was the year 1990 when I woke up. Well, I mean, I said there was less writing than on the postage stamp. 1990, that's it. That's her dream. It's like, yeah, thank you for sending me that. That's really good. I'm sure the analysis will be really insightful for you. So in this case, what do? I have to channel on it. So normally when we have a dream with numbers, we look at the numbers and we look at the number 1, we look at the 9, we look at the 0, and we make something out of those. But numbers can also be other things. They can be ages. Like if you dream of 7 children, then we know it's definitely about you at the age 7. There'd be other things in the dream then to say why. So in this dream, I just channel and I ask, what is it about? And they said it's about the dreamer at age 5. So she was born in 1985, so 1990, she's either 5 or 6, depending on when the dream is really located. And that's what she has to work on. And she said, yeah, I've been working on that age range for a while. But that's, so we can still get that from the dream if we remember that tiny bit. And then she has another one. There is a woman walking wearing a yellow tracksuit and high heels. Her hair was down and blonde like the suit, sleek and long. She was walking towards me and she looked like a model. And again, it seems here like there's nothing in it, except it's quirky. So it's interesting, like, because you would never see anybody wearing a tracksuit and high heels. It would just seem crazy. And so this means that this is the way Dee is. She's a little bit quirky. She likes high heels, by the way. But high heels, I didn't know any woman does, but high heels in a dream represent your spiritual side, your higher aspect. And walking a path that your higher aspect wants. So doing what your higher self wants you to do. Ultimately, you're going to do it, but that's what the dream's about. You're either going to do it in this life or the next life. So that's what I mean by ultimately you're going to do it. So we know it's about our higher purpose. And then I asked her about the color yellow, and she said it was a very bright yellow. And so it's so short. We know that the color yellow, if you look at my book, is about mental intellect. Well, isn't all intellect mental, but intellect, the ability to rationalize, and you just go through the list of things there and ask the guides, which one is it? And they said it's about the ability to rationalize, which is kind of unusual because normally in dreams they're saying, get rid of that, don't do that. The other thing about it being a bright yellow, which was interesting, is they said it's also connected to enlightened intellect. So we see more and more now why the woman is wearing it. She's also blonde. If you've listened to the show before, and I hope you have, blonde hair in a dream symbolizes a guide, purity of thought. So it's a guide bringing this. And so it's basically saying to the dreamer that you have this special ability to rationalize about things in the spiritual field. And so how it works for her is if she's working with a client, and she does work with clients in the spiritual field, she's going to get intuitive hits about different things that they do. So it could be, okay, you have a channeling ability and you also are meant to work with kids. And she'll be able to put together why the person has those two things. She can rationalize the way they're going to work together. And again, this is like enlightened intellect. So it's not just she's thinking about it, but from her perspective, that's what it is. She's going to think about it and figure it out, but she's getting the assistance at the same time as she's thinking about it. So it's going to come to her very simply. And when I explained that to her, she said, yeah, that's exactly, I've been doing that for a little while. So why would you have a dream that tells you about something you're already doing? It could be because, and most likely, that you are questioning whether what you're doing is correct. And then the dream comes along and says, yes, this is absolutely fine. This is the way it works for you. And she says the dreamer, the woman looked like a model. So this is really cool. This is what you're meant to do. This is the ideal. And don't worry about being quirky. So that's pretty cool. Then she gave me, I said there was 3, a slightly longer dream. And here it is. There is a large speckled white and grey horse. It is huge. It is being led by a man with a halter on. Next to a set of wooden bleachers filled with people. Then a wooden Susan Boyle is in front of them to perform. Now I'm going to assume that you know who Susan Boyle is from Britain's Got Talent and all that. Shot to fame, very quirky person herself. And so, again, it requires a little bit of working out. So we have the large speckled white and grey horse. So grey can be about a number of things. It can be mental denial of emotion. It can be other things. It can also be about depression. So I asked my guides, which one is it? And they said, in this dream, it's about depression. And so the white is in the dream to heal it, because white, when added to any other color, kind of rehabilitates it or picks out the best meaning if it already has a good meaning, like it elevates its meaning. And then horses have to do with a couple of things. It could be about balance if it's a single horse, like this is, or it can be about healing. And I'm not going to get into why, but if you look it up in my book, you'll see those things. So I asked my guides, which is it here? And they said it's about the healing. So the dream straight away in the first sentence is trying to heal Dee of depression that she was going through. Now, not necessarily a big depression, because we don't see dark clouds or anything like that. And it's quite positive because we have the white with it. So it's lifting her out of a depression. And she says it's being led by a man with a halter on. Okay, so it's a masculine energy gift. And it's going to be healing for her masculine side, using her masculine side to heal something. And masculine side has to do with confidence, belief in ourselves, feeling worthy, etc., many other things. And again, you would go through that list and see what is it about. And here it's going to be about confidence and slightly, say, feeling worthy. She says it's next to a wooden bleachers filled with people. Then a wooden Susan Boyle is in front of them to perform. And so I asked, here we have wood, but it's a little bit different because it's a wooden statue or a wooden Susan Boyle. So I asked, just to be sure, is it about the digestive or elimination system? Because often that's what wood is about in a dream. And they said, no, it's not. It's about the wooden aspect of Susan Boyle. And so we also have the bleachers, and Susan Boyle is in front of them to perform. So we know that the dreamer works in the spiritual field. She performs in front of people, let's say, because she's a channel and dream analyst and does other things too. Does healing as well. And so the focus is on her performing in front of other people. And then the wooden Susan Boyle says that in some way she feels wooden, the dreamer, that is, feels wooden when she's performing in front of people. And the dream is trying to heal that. It's trying to lift her out of any depression or feeling down about her performance in front of others. I mean, she's exceptional. She's extremely good at what she does. But she has this, and a lot of people have that, they're fantastic, and we all know they're fantastic. But inside, they don't feel the same way that we feel about them, because we know, we can see from the outside without any bias how good they are. But on the inside, we're impacted by our upbringing, by our parents, the things they said to us, etc., etc., etc. And so that's all running around on the inside for all of us, that is. And then we have the wooden bleachers filled with people. Well, that part's easy. When we know it's about performance, quite often your dreams will say, here's what it is you're meant to do in your life. And so here she's meant to perform in front of other people. Not only that, she's to heal anything that brings her down about performing in front of other people. So it's her higher self is saying, this is definitely for you. This is definitely what you need to do. But we expect dreams to say who the target audience is. And that's what the wooden bleachers filled with people is about. These are all people at different levels. So people at low levels, people at very high levels, and then all the levels in between. They are all her target audience. So she's meant to work with everybody, which is really, really good. Or let's say not be concerned about the spiritual level or otherwise of the people that come to her. So again, very simple dream, very short dream, tells us clearly you're meant to work, you're meant to perform spiritually in front of other people. You're meant to heal anything that knocks your confidence or makes you feel wooden while you're performing in front of other people, because you've got the skills. Like there's no emphasis in this dream on develop this skill, do this, do that, do the other. So therefore, that's not anything she needs to do. She just needs to lift herself up and allow herself have the confidence that she deserves in front of other people when she's working. And this is probably not an all-time thing for her. This is probably just something that's recently happened and the dream is trying to heal. But really cool, 3 short dreams, and we can get a ton about what the dreamer is meant to be doing in their lives. The Susan Boyle, of course, is Susan Boyle shot to fame. So this person is very likely going to shoot to fame. And then, of course, it all came crashing down for Susan Boyle because people tried to change her. She's very quirky, and they tried to put her into a mold that would be, that they want everybody in. The managers, etc., controllers want everybody to adhere to. And so this dream is saying, look, celebrate your quirkiness, celebrate you being a little bit crazy and doing things the way you do them, because that's part of who you are, and don't let that pull you down either. So thank you for sending those dreams in, Dee, and we will move on. Thank you for watching this clip from the Dream Interpretation Podcast. If you want to hear the whole show, there's a link directly under this video. Please like and share with your friends, all of your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast at thedreaminterpretationpodcast.com. That's also where you can submit your dream to the show and have yours featured. You can also download my free dictionary that has thousands of symbols that will help you understand the meaning of your dreams. Thanks for listening.